just inside of Sequoia National Park. Last night we spent the night at the Trona Pinnacles, and the day before we were in Lone Pine outside of, basically camped in Alabama Hills. Looking at the forecast, we're going from 75-degree weather in Alabama Hills to be in a high of 34 degrees. So we're gonna freeze our butts off, but we really want to see Sequoia National Park, and I think it'll be pretty to see it in the snow. One quick stop before we go to Sequoia. It's the first rain we've seen in a while, but what's more exciting is that there is green stuff on the ground. There's grass.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this the only way in and out of the park?
Yes, it is.
At the moment, because of this, because of the snow and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it was an interesting drive today. This morning we left the eastern side of the Sierras, drove south, worked our way around to drive north to be back on the western side. So it was 4+ hours of driving, and we're only 24 miles away from where we camped last night as the crow flies. Two nights ago.
I'm extremely excited to be inside Sequoia National Park. However, when we talk to a ranger...
And are you aware of the 6 mile ahead road closure?
Nope.
So in 6 miles ahead, at Hospital Rock, the road is closed to the remainder of the park.
So we are here early in the year, and during the winter season, the road isn't always accessible, and we knew that coming into it. So even more, General Highway 2 is closed Monday through Thursday because of the fire that came through last year. We knew that coming in, but from Friday to Monday, it's supposed to be open, and we're supposed to be able to go down to the giant forest.
But
we're
here, and when we're anywhere, bad weather is here as well. So today is cold and a call for snow, and tomorrow will be cold and it's calling for snow, and we're talking 1 to 3 inches and like 30s as far as temperature goes.
And we won't know until we get up tomorrow if they're going to open the road or not. So stay tuned to see.
Fingers crossed.
It is snowing this morning. So we're outside of the Foothills Visitor Center in Sequoia National Park. Last night we were in Potwisha Campground. He's making up some coffee and we're having some breakfast bread. We have to wait for the visitor center to open to basically find out if the road to get to the giant forest is going to be open. Sequoia might be a complete wash. We might not have anything we can do here. Luckily, we had beautiful views coming in yesterday, and we got to see like the first 5 miles of the park, and I'm extremely excited to see the rest of the park now, and I want to take that drive on General Highway. So we're gonna go in, talk to the ranger, see if we hop 2 hours north to go to Kings Canyon, if we'll be able to see anything there, or if we just have to say goodbye to Sequoia and try and come back later.
So we just popped out of the ranger station, and unfortunately up higher it's snowing even more than it is down here. The road to the giant forest where the sequoia trees are is not open. So today that's not an option. Because we're only here for 2 days and the weather looks better for tomorrow, we're gonna roll the dice. We're gonna bet that the road is going to be open tomorrow. So today we're going to Kings Canyon. We're going to check that out.
So if you do come to Sequoia or Kings Canyon this time of year, which right now it's early March, just know that you're not going to be able to see everything in the park. We're not going to be able to see 90% of it, but we are going to be able to see some sequoia trees. And that was the main purpose we wanted to come. And as long as I can see a sequoia by the end of the day, I'm gonna be a pretty happy girl. So a majority of the land between Sequoia National Park and Kings Canyon is farmed for citrus. So we've seen lemon trees, we've seen orange trees, and also olive trees. And it's just been all farmland. It's actually pretty nice to drive through. We are on Kings Canyon Road now, so it went from rain, now it's sleet. I'm sure it'll turn to snow at some point. We're gonna be wet and cold today. There is a canyon down there, can't even see it. So we're getting into Giant Sequoia National Monument, Sequoia National Forest. We basically just passed this sign that said we have to put our chains on or we have to have four-wheel drive, which we don't have four-wheel drive. So time to put the chains on. Alright, so we have the chains on the rear wheels, drive wheels. They went on pretty easy. Don't have to drive over them, which is nice for these sets.
Just put on the chains, first time having chains on the van. We are driving in a slight snowstorm. I wouldn't call it severe yet, but we're going up in elevation, so I think it's going to get more interesting. I've seen a few smart people putting chains on. They're required, especially given the current situation, but I did see a BMW rear-wheel drive car go by without them. Cheers to that guy. I bet we're going to see him again real soon.
So far so good with the chains, but man, it sounds like you got a flat tire. So we've had the snow chains on for about 10 miles now, and the road's been pretty bare, but we finally got to a point where there's some snow on the ground. It's a lot more quieter when there's actually snow on the road with these chains. But conditions are getting interesting. We're about 5 or 6 miles from the sequoia trees. We're at 6,000 and we're seeing our first sequoia. Awesome. We made it to the entrance of Kings Canyon. And look at that sequoia right there. We don't have a shovel, so we're improvising. We are at Azalea Campground, which is actually in Kings Canyon National Park. We're supposed to be staying at Potwisha tonight, which is in Sequoia. However, we don't know if the road's going to open back up tomorrow to be able to see General Sherman that we want to see so bad. So our plan is to go check out Grove and see the second largest sequoia and kind of hang out here today. Have a chill day, go see some awesome trees. It looks beautiful, so I'm happy to be here. And then, I mean, would you look at this? Like, this is our campsite, and look at this beauty.
We are inside the tree trunk of a fallen sequoia. I don't even have to duck. Can you touch the ceiling? Can you even reach it? So she can't even reach the top. So that's huge. So we are finally walking amongst some sequoias. We had to come to Kings Canyon to get them, but man, it's just a gorgeous winter scene up here.
We're making some fresh tracks, trying to find this big tree stump.
So we're looking for the stump. We found the stump, and we just got to be able to get to it without getting our feet too wet, even though our feet are definitely getting wet. Hey, there you go.
Not too bad.
So this tree stump had a section of it cut off and cut into pieces and transported to the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. So you can actually go there and see the circumference of this as well. And when people first saw the cross section at the museum, they thought it was a California hoax and that there was no tree in the world that could possibly be that big.
It is a little noisy because of the chains on the tires, but we are going to try and get down to Hume Lake and check that out. The road's closed after that, so we're going to get there, check it out before sunset. I can see the lake.
So somebody just put on the brakes. She's afraid of bridges and isn't a huge fan of water. So sometimes she needs a little convincing. What do you think, Maisha?
That sunset is bizarre. I just climbed into bed for the night. We finished dinner, finished dishes, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do in the morning tomorrow. So we're gonna call Sequoia, see if they opened up the road. Stay tuned until tomorrow morning.
Good morning. We just woke up, had some breakfast. Now we're about to enjoy our coffees, and we need to figure out what we're doing today. We're gonna make a call to the National Park Service, find out if the road's open, and if we're gonna get back to Sequoia National Park to see the big sequoias.
This is Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park's road conditions report. Through the southern entrance, you can reach Hospital Rock with no restrictions. Beyond this point, the road is closed. You cannot reach the giant sequoia. Through the northern entrance.
So our decision was made. We won't be seeing General Sherman, and we won't be going through the giant sequoia grove.
Change of plans. We found a spigot. Just double checking to see if it's on. I don't think it's on just because of the snow, but she's trudging through trying to find out. Negative. Have to get water elsewhere.
So if you come to Sequoia or Kings Canyon in the winter times, they will have a chain restriction and then classify it by R1, R2, and R3. So R1 means you just have to have chains with you. R2 means if you're not all-wheel drive, you have to have chains on, which is what we are because we're two-wheel drive. So yesterday when we were driving through Kings Canyon, we had to have the chains on all day because they were in R2. And then R3 is like, I don't care what kind of vehicle you have, put your damn chains on. It's snowing out. We just left Kings Canyon and there has been bus after bus after bus going up there. So I'm so glad we went yesterday instead of today. Looks like it's going to be packed up there. And we just got to the point where we can take the chains off, so we'll be able to get moving. And we have more good news. So we called back and they just opened Sequoia. So we are going to be able to see General Sherman today. So we have a bit of driving that we have to do today, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth it. After what we saw in Kings Canyon, I'm really excited to get over to Sequoia. So we decided to take a different route back to Sequoia, and that's is not disappointing. It's a very scenic view. Yesterday was a citrus olive scenic view. Today is lush green rolling hills. These cows have the life. Not a bad spot to be. We are back in Sequoia, and it is so busy today compared to yesterday and the day before. It is Sunday, but the weather is significantly better. So people are out and about. So we are 5.3 miles from Sherman. They just blocked the road and we have to put the chains on. So, chains back on.
Starting to get good at this.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's now like a 5-minute job to get the chains on, so not too shabby. Chains are on. 5.3 to see General Sherman. So we're officially in the giant forest right now. You can start to see some of the sequoias. That one, the top of it is broken off. The snow is actually a little bit deeper on this side than it is on Kings Canyon. So I could see why they had it closed yesterday. Probably took them a while to get it cleared out.
Easily 2 feet.
Yeah, the snow is anywhere from like 2 to 3 feet probably in parts. We are walking to the parking lot of General Sherman. It is so packed today, so busy. This is a cross section of one of the sequoia trees. But the cool thing about what you can see on this tree is here's where a burn happened, and you can see the scar. And then after, the growth is so much faster, the rings are wider, because it didn't have any competition with other trees, so it could get all the nutrients, and then it slows down when everything else starts to grow back. It is getting foggier. Boring day for the Maisha cakes. You can't play in the national parks. Oh, Mimis. Well, we're not seeing much of the giant forest. It's getting foggier and foggier. This is all part of the 2021 fire. Putting him to work, having him take the chains off.
Outside of the visitor center, Wild Turkey putting on a show for the ladies.